You know how you have that favorite musical group, and it really doesn't matter that much when you started listening to them, when their last album came out, you are going to listen to their music all the time, right? And what I sometimes I think we forget is that just because they're artists doesn't mean them about things outside of the musical industry, which is exactly what happened today. I want to share with you the three legend lessons I learned from Pink. Because I willingly, gladly admit I adore her. I adore what she creates. I love what she stands for. I love her outrageousness. One of those things like we would be totally be friends. She doesn't know that, but we would totally be friends. But I want to share with you today the three legend lessons I've learned from her. So grab your legend pack, crank that speaker to 11. Welcome to Legend. Today I want to share with you the first thing I learned from Pink. I don't know if you follow her the way I do. I don't know if you are aware. She recently released a new album. And pardon me, there we go. One of the lessons I learned, or one of the songs, the very first song I heard, she's singing daughter, which of course triggers all my little mom heartness. and I love the idea that she is singing this with her daughter. So one of the things I learned is to do what you do really, really well, and then do it in a completely different way because she's been putting out albums and singing and performing solo for so long that this to see, oh my goodness, she's singing with Sage Willow, that's or with her daughter, that's new. It looks like I want to know what that sounds like. So it got my attention in a whole new way. So try what it is you're doing. Keep doing that thing you do best, that thing you are most passionate about, the thing that lights you up, and then try doing it in a different way. If that's a different delivery, if that's to a different audience, if that's a different mechanism altogether, try it. It's what legends do. The second thing I learned from her is that you should sing with everything you've got. I was actually singing along with a song of hers, not that one. I was cooking, and so I had the music going and was singing along with her, and I was kind of singing under my breath. And I realized that some of the high notes were harder to hit, some of the low notes were harder to hit. And I thought, well, what's going on with my range? Why am I not being able to sing these? And I realized it's because I was singing sorta. I was singing at about a three, maybe a four at best. I was just really not putting everything I had into it. So the second thing I learned, this is the legend lesson number two, is that put everything you have into it. If it's worth doing at all, it's worth doing well. I learned that from my father. If it's worth doing really, really well. And when you give it everything you have, you actually do it better than when you're trying to do it quiet, when you're trying not to overpower somebody else, when you are hiding a little bit. It actually turns out better when you stand in the front of the stage, plant your feet firmly, and say, I am here to rock. And you put everything you have into that moment, passion, every amount of energy, and you can actually hit the high notes better. You can hit the low notes better. In fact, I remember watched an interview with Pink several years ago because she is such an acrobat that some of her songs, when she performs doing the things, and she's singing upside down, and she had been accused of lip syncing those, and she's like, oh, no, 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 actually I do it better. My voice sounds better. It comes out more easily when I'm upside down, actually. So again, in that way of do what you do, but do it a little different, but do it with everything you've got. Put everything you have into it. It comes out better, it lands better, and it's way more fun. And the last thing I want to leave you with is, yes, Michelle, absolutely don't hold back. Give it everything. Put 100% into it. The last thing I learned from her is watching her sing with her daughter and listening to the voices blend and listening, realizing how many hours of practice that must have taken, how much extra effort it must have taken for her to teach her daughter this. And I'm sure she's one of those people, because it's what I've done, is you sing all the time. You sing to your child. You sing when they're in utero. It doesn't change just because they're born. You sing all the time. There's music all the time. And I realized how much extra effort, how much extra heart must have gone into this particular project. You are in a unique position in your business to leave a legacy, like an actual, honest to goodness legacy. That doesn't have to be to your children. That doesn't have to be to anyone you're related to at all. But it's part of what legends do is we stand up and we say, this is what I stand for and this is what I'm about. And you invite others to join along. You invite people to not just lock arms, but lock heart and souls as you move forward and you change the world in your own way. It's what legends do. The footprints you leave as you keep moving on that path to legend, that's your legacy. The way you are experienced, the way you remember, the way that when you share and create such an unforgettable experience for your ideal clients, like such a memorable, absolutely unforgettable, recognizable experience. That's your legacy. The way people talk about you later, 5 minutes after you've left the room, a year after they've done business with you, 5 years after they met you, that's your legacy. And yeah, it takes a little extra time, it takes a little extra effort, it takes a little extra heart, but it is so worth it. It's everything. If you're not here to make impact, what are you doing? Whether that's on one life or a billion, what are you doing? Make an impact, leave a legacy, create a legacy. Create that experience that people talk about long after they've left your presence, long after you have left the stage. It's what legends do. It's part of what we sign up for. When you pick up that legend pack, when you stand on that stage, whatever part of that stage, whatever your stage looks like, do what you do a little different. Do what you do with 100% of everything you have and leave a legacy. Until I get to see you in person, great big hugs, lots of love. Rock on.